couple just a few moments ago. But, you know, there have also been several other recent internet and social networking stocks that have been absolute disasters since their debuts. Joining us now is Chris Dessi. He is the CEO of Silverback Social. And Chris, just so the audience knows, your firm is a consulting firm to larger firms that want to be more interactive with their customers.
Absolutely. What we do is we essentially hold their hand and we escort them into the social media ecosystem. We help them understand how to engage appropriately with their consumer because it's different. I mean, the manner in which we aggregate and disseminate information as a culture within social media has definitively changed.
It has definitively changed. Everyone has a voice these days. Everyone wants to be heard these days. But you do it for large companies like the Michael Kors of the world, but they don't need to make money on it, right? I mean, it's sort of like it could be a loss leader. They just need a way to communicate with they're not trying to make that something that goes to the bottom line.
Well, at times it does, and this is something that Facebook is being held accountable for, and large businesses are understanding now that there is a definitive ROI in social media because people expect a brand to have a Facebook page. They expect to get certain discounts and to have an insider's look behind the scenes about the company, to have that type of relationship with a company that previously wasn't there before.
But Chris, as a pure business model, you know, we look at Zynga, we look at Groupon, we look at Facebook. Facebook, that was supposed to be the IPO of the century, of the millennium.
I know.
Facebook, can they, by themselves as a business model, be monetized?
Yeah, I believe so. I think wait for it. I think right now Zuckerberg is in a little bit of a pickle. I think he's got some cognitive distance happening right now because he wants to change the way that we all aggregate and disseminate information. As I said, he's gotten there, but now he's got all this information. Their commodity is your information, my information, all the information that we provide to Facebook. And I think they're just scratching the surface on how to monetize that. They're doing it with, they're allowing promoted.
I'm going to have to come in 1 second, but you got to admit, though, yeah, they got all this information.
Yeah.
But we're going to be pissed off if they start selling it to other people. They got it from us because it's free and we think it's secure.
Right now, they're taking a gentle hand at trying to subtly do things like sponsored ads. So sponsored ads, for example, if you're at Whole Foods and you and I are friends on Facebook and you check in at Whole Foods, I will sort of gingerly, quietly see that pop up in the news feed saying, oh, Charles just checked in at Whole Foods. Isn't that exciting? So it's a very subliminal aspect of advertising.
All right, stock is at 1961, a new logo. Go ahead.
I mean, Facebook is obviously like the Google of social media.
Yeah,
let's be honest. I mean, in my family, Pinterest is something. Anytime I need to know it's an anniversary or a birthday, I get something from Pinterest from my wife.
Yeah,
telling me, you know, that's how we communicate these days. Do you think all the other competition that's out there against Facebook is starting to hurt their valuation because the barriers to entry are very, very low in terms of social media?
Perhaps, and we're also seeing this sort of shift where if people would say Facebook is the living room of social media, where do the kids want to hang out? Where do teenagers want to hang out? They don't want to hang out in the living room, right? They want to hang out in the basement school. So we're seeing the emergence of other platforms like Tumblr. And while teenagers might have a profile on Facebook, they're not necessarily engaging in it as much as people would potentially want. But I do still feel bullish on Facebook simply because of the fact that they do have all this information and they're testing things. So they're allowing for brands to pay for sponsored ads and news feeds outside of that ecosystem that might have liked the Facebook page before.
Right. Listen, by the way, we have a Dutch auction, guys, where you go down, okay? It's like, I had it at 1950. Okay, you got 1958, 1958, you got 1950. Real quick, Monica.
Yeah, it's been so fascinating to watch all of these major social networking companies go this route because consumers are so used to getting content for free, right? So they're really struggling about how to monetize their websites and their homepages and the rest of it. But what's fascinating to me as a question, a business question, did Facebook go public too soon without having a plan for really monetizing this thing?
I don't think so. I do think that they're towing a line of turning people off because they're used to being in that ecosystem for free, and if they see too much advertising, then it becomes MySpace. And there's an issue there.
Chris Dessi, I know your business is hot, that's for sure.
Yes, it is.
We'll see about Facebook. Obviously, the stock